So Colin Moriarty has a podcast called Sacred Symbols that's PlayStation centric.
Yeah.
And I am a patron of his. I am part of the Patreon community, so take this however you want. He doesn't like doing... You remember from when he was on Kind of Funny. He did not like going out into public, doing public things. He's just kind of like a...
More of a homebody?
Yeah. But he decided that...
They would get along.
You know what? I want to meet the community. I want to go out and have some fun. So he submitted for a panel for PAX West.
Oh.
And his panel got accepted. And they said, you're going to be on Monday, September 3rd in the Hydra Theater, which is like their big streaming theater. So you're going to be recorded and streamed and everything's cool. And he got really excited about it. And he's been plugging it on Sacred Symbols for almost 2 months now. And on every other podcast that he does, because he does 3 a week. And every podcast he's been talking about, hey, Chris and I are going to be at PAX West for live Sacred Symbols. It's just going to be Q&A. It's going to be awesome. They recorded Sacred Symbols this week on Monday. It releases on Tuesday. And, in that episode, it releases Tuesday for patrons.
For patrons. Yeah.
And he said, hey, remember, we're going to be at PAX on September 3rd, Monday, 11:30 a.m., Hydra Theater. If you're coming, it's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time.
September?
Yeah.
So it hasn't happened yet?
No.
Okay.
Wednesday, he gets an email from PAX or their parent company, whatever it's called, Red One or something like that. And they told him that because of, quote, scheduling, your panel has been canceled.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So, no warning. No, hey, we got to move you to another time. No, hey, we got to move you to a different
Why
hall.
don't they just...
Nothing like that. Just, hey, your panel's been canceled. And he's been pressing like, oh, what happened? What can we do this? Can we do that? They did not respond on Wednesday, all day Thursday, and on Friday. So Friday afternoon he recorded. It's the end of the month, so if you're on the $1 tier or higher for Patreon, they do a monthly exclusive podcast. So he recorded it Friday afternoon because it would have released that Friday. So he recorded it and put it out, and it was him talking about how PAX is not, they've canceled the panel.
That's
He
messed
said
up.
he knows for a fact that people that have bought PAX tickets for Monday have bought airfare, have bought hotel specifically just to go to that panel. And PAX is not offering even refunds on the badges. Colin, out of his pocket or his company's pocket, is going to refund 20 people that bought passes for Monday. So it's $65, which doesn't sound like a lot, but 65 times 20 when you make your living on Patreon is a big deal.
Shit, man.
So they still haven't responded to him. They won't respond to anybody on Twitter that's asking them what happened or for refunds. They don't do refunds. So they basically used Colin and the audience of, they get consistently between 50 and 60,000 downloads a week for Sacred Symbols.
That's a big community.
They use that community to get people to buy tickets to PAX that wouldn't normally go to PAX, to go see Colin and Chris do their podcast live, and then canceled it on them with less than a month to go.
Dude, that's fucked up.
Yeah, real shitty.
They still haven't heard nothing.
Nope.
Jesus Christ.
So,
where is PAX West?
In Seattle.
That's right.
I am somebody that's always said, one of these years, instead of going to Vegas, I want to go to PAX. We're going to have to go up to Seattle and go to PAX. It would be super fun. And because, the way they're handling this, I'll never go to a fucking PAX now. I'll never give that company any of my money. Because you can't fucking do that to a community. It's their own community that they're splintering. It's the video game community that they're claiming that this whole convention is for. The community to come together. They're just saying, except you 50,000 people. We want your money, but we don't want you here. And it's real shitty. So I actually upped my Patreon tier for this month because Colin said he's going to pay people out of his own pocket for refunds up to 20 people or something like that.
That's so fucked up. How can they...
Yeah. No reason. No nothing. Like Colin was like, hey, maybe Chris and I said something recently on the podcast that just doesn't jive with their standards and practices or whatever. And he's
Yeah,
like,
I guess that was my other thought. Maybe
and-
they said something that they didn't.
all they've
coincide
been
with
doing,
their-
all they've been doing is talking about how fun it's going to be to go to PAX and meet up with the community and do a Q&A. And yeah, it's fucking shitty, man. It's really shitty.
And I'm sure his community has been out.
Yeah, everybody's like
calling out PAX.
they're trying to get answers. Like, I have seen very few people be dicks to PAX or their parent company on Twitter. It's a lot of people genuinely wanting to know why, what happened, what the fuck, what's going on.
The reason is all that they need.
That's it. Yeah.
And the reason.
So I just wanted to bring that up and shed some light on it. And like, I know the video game industry and a lot of entertainment industries lean heavily to the left when it comes to actual politics and not necessarily just video game politics. And that's fine. You know, believe how you want to believe and be into the things that you're into. And Colin has always gotten shit from the gaming industry because he has differing political views from a lot of people in it. And it's shitty. Like, that should not be that you shouldn't be gatekeeping based on your fucking political affiliation.
Exactly.
Like, that's not anything that needs to be in any entertainment field. Like, Colin has been out there with he was a Republican, and then when Trump got the Republican nomination, he dropped from the Republican Party and went libertarian. And so yeah, he said he's never going back to the Republican Party because of what the fuck happened with this stupid shit we're in right now. And like, it's just so funny, man, because a lot of this stuff all stems and goes back to, if you don't agree with me 100% with everything I think, then fuck you.
We're not friends.
Then we're not friends. And
people don't understand.
It could be 99.9%. But if it's that 0.5% that you don't, then we're not friends. And that's how Colin's treated.
That's stupid.
Yeah. So
like, I could have totally different views than let's say you.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna put that against like, hey, we both like Metal Gear, we both like Uncharted.
Right.
Let's talk about it.
I have some friends that are super left, like Bernie Sanders. Like, and I'm not a fan of that dude. I don't think that dude is the answer, or his politics. But I'm still friends with these people because they are actually going out and making their own decisions based on their opinions on the information that they're going out and seeking. They're not just jumping on a bandwagon. And I just hate that this is a thing now.
I was going to say that too. I was going to say like, well, I was going to say like, well, he has a political podcast. I wonder if that's probably what they heard. And
he doesn't even fucking do that anymore.
Oh, he doesn't?
He doesn't do the historical and political stuff on Colin's Last Stand anymore because it wasn't getting the views on YouTube. So he stopped doing it.
Well, yeah, because YouTube's suspended all that shit right now.
And so now he does a video game podcast that's PlayStation centric.
And that's the one that
got canceled from PAX. He does a retro podcast with his brother Dagan where they just talk about retro everything. They talked about Rosemary's Baby this week.
Oh, they did.
So fucking good.
God.
Great episode. Fireside Chats, which initially started off as going to be like a political thing. Now it's just interviews with random people about random things. He had a guy in there who's was a guitarist in a metal band, and he's been a musician his whole life. So they were going to talk about this guy and his like how he got into music and everything like that in the industry. They ended up just talking about music for an hour and not ever really going down the path that they were intending to go down. Right. And they're just really good conversations.
They're the kind of podcast that like...
He's had Jeff Kanata on, who is a very left political person.
Yes.
But they've sat down and had conversations about politics and video games and other shit. Like, they can sit down as fucking adults and have intelligent conversations without jumping down each other's throat because they don't believe what each other believes. And those are the type of people I want around me, or people I can have conversations with without them jumping off a fucking cliff or something. And yeah, the reason I wanted to bring this up is because if you liked Colin Moriarty's stuff at IGN when he was back there, or at Kinda Funny, and you didn't necessarily follow him to Patreon, give his Patreon a look. If you want to become a patron, just do $1 a month or whatever. Like, this dude is paying people out of his own pocket for refunds for their PAX badges.
When he shouldn't have to.
And he shouldn't have to do that. So, and he doesn't have to do that. He could have just said, "Oh well," but he's got excess budget and he can refund up to 20 people. So, if you want to check it out, go check out Colin's Last Stand.
How many people were going?
I don't know.
Probably a good amount.
They had given him the big theater. The big theater that the Giant Bombcast does their shit out of every year, which is like hundreds, like it could be up to 1,000 people in that theater. It's huge. It's like Hall H. It's fucking big at PAX, that one theater. But I think it's shitty that like we used to gatekeep because of race or sexuality, and now we're gatekeeping because like that shit's okay now. But now we're gatekeeping because of fucking political beliefs, and I think it's fucking garbage. You either have all of it or you have fucking none of it. You don't get to pick and choose. You don't get to pick and choose. You can't talk about a segment of the population being marginalized and then turn around and marginalize a sect of the population. You don't get to fucking do that.
Damn. That's messed up, man.
Yep.
Come on, PAX.